Hi everyone. Thank you for joining us in our next episode of second season of Afterwork Talk podcast. Today I have really interesting guest, but before I pass the word to my guest Paweł, I want to remind you that this Afterwork Talk podcast we have each Tuesday, twice a week on Tuesday, and the recordings you can find on our YouTube channel, and all these events connected to our business analysis, European Business Analysis Conference that will be happening in May next year. Please tell me if you see my screen and if yeah, if you can hear us, I hope, and see. Is everything okay? Yes. Okay. So let's start. Just small reminder that I am Alexander Moskaliuk. I am a host of podcast with Rainer. Rainer is a owner and creator of Business Analysis, European Business Analysis Day Conference. But this year, half of podcasts I will be hosting by myself only, and Rainer will skip this event, unfortunately. I want to remind you, of course, that we have our main sponsor, Deutsche Telekom, and also we have as a sponsors IREB and Masventa consulting company, and we'll have some more sponsors later announced. Our today topic is about conferences, and I want to introduce Pavel. Pavel, please tell a few words about yourself.
All right. Welcome, everyone. Really happy to be here today. Um, I'm a business analyst and with more than 10 years of experience in different domains. So pharma, life sciences, public sector, banking, and car audio and law enforcement, if you can believe that as well. So it's a lot of different topics. And it lets me to, let's say, have a broad understanding of different domains and different organizations. And as many other analysts, the fact that I became one was really a little bit of a coincidental, but there was an opportunity when I was working as a supervisor at the bank, and then there was an advertisement for a product manager, junior product manager, which eventually became a position for a business analyst. And that's how my adventure started throughout 4 years in banking. I learned I had ups and downs with different regulatory projects and so on, and served as a tester, PM, business, and every role in IT you can imagine. So this also helps me to look at the business analysis from a very broad angle. And that's the approach I hope to bring all together as a program council member of the Poland IIBA BA Summit 2024. And yeah, apart from that, I'm doing trainings, I'm mentoring in IIBA as well, in the programs organized by the Polish chapter. So a lot of things going on, basically.
Great. Yeah, a few, I think second episode we had with Yuri Goman, and we discussed different conferences from point of view of visitor or participant or speaker. And today we will talk about business analysis conferences from the point of view of organizers. Yeah, Pavel helps to organize IIBA Poland Summit, yeah? That will happen in 1 week or in 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's 7th and 8th of November, Warsaw, Polin Conference Center, which is a quiet venue, very majestic, a nice place to be. So yeah, and if there are still tickets available, so if anybody hesitates, then I wouldn't be myself if I wouldn't advertise this.
Yeah, it's a role we play when we're trying to organize something. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm helping to organize next European BA Day. And let's talk about a little bit about approaches. Why are we doing this? So Why organizing conferences?
Yeah, why? Because we want people in our profession, and maybe not in only our profession as BAs, but people that deal with business analysis. Because I will reiterate that message that often Fabrizio Laguna speaks about, that you don't have to be a business analyst to do business analysis. It's we all do that, even in our entire life. When we decide to buy a car, we do a little bit of a business analysis as well. So whether it meets our needs, whether it's exciting to buy that car or it's just fine to buy that car. And speaking of fundamentals, which we also have as our theme for the BA Summit this year, why we need to rediscover fundamentals and why the conference is a good way to do it. So basically, I believe that we can all observe that we are living in a fast changing world. It's really evolving in all type of ways that we couldn't predict when we were children. For example, when I was in 6th grade, having 13 years old, I didn't have a cell phone. So if I had a date with a girl from another class, I could not go there because I was late or I had some things to do with my parents wanted and so on. And I was really depressed. Today, you just pick up the phone, you call that you will be late and everything is fine. But back then, it wasn't that fine. And today you see AI, you see new methods, new experimental products, new experimental approaches and everything like that. So I will make a contradictory statement that to be able to cope with the fast evolving world, you need to slow down a little bit and take a look at your toolbox and fundamentals that shaped you as a business analyst or a person doing business analysis. So come back to the stakeholder management, come back to deep understanding of the context and organization. Because if you don't do that, any shiny new solution or any new things doesn't solve the problem or doesn't realize the business needs. You need to understand that to deliver a solution that is fit for purpose. And however, and I think Alexander probably seen that as well, that sometimes we have an approach where we have a new shiny solution. I say that we give our stakeholders a very big backpack of different gadgets, different things that they could use if they knew how to use it and if it was aligned with their processes. But it's not, it's just technically superior. And it's on its own, it doesn't provide value because nobody knows what it is for. So yeah, I think that's why we need to rediscover fundamentals.
Uh, I want to support you in this idea because with your example, yeah, with this without mobile phones, yeah, it was very difficult to confirm that you will be late at the meeting. But on the other hand, when you stay late, yeah, outside just playing with other guys and friends, and people were not calling you each 5 minutes, yeah, and if you don't answer, they are not starting to think that you are gone, you are dead, or something bad happened.
Yeah, you get notification on your SMS, then you get the messenger, then you get Teams. And if you don't respond in a predicted time, which is usually 5 or 10 minutes, because it's so urgent.
It's long. It's good timing. Yeah, sometimes it's 1 minute. Yeah, and there is a panic outside.
Then you get a
the
call. Have you read my message?
Yeah.
In fact, I didn't because I'm walking the dog or something else, right? So, yeah, and this means that sometimes we don't have time to stop and rethink what we should do actually. So I will be always preaching that we need to sometimes slow down. And by slowing down, we'll allow ourselves to make more thought through decisions and use more of our fundamental skills as well. So.
Yeah, and yes, again, all this stuff, all these new shiny things, we can't predict and understand how will it work in our real world. And when you have a lot of people trying these things and then come back to the conference and share their own knowledge, yeah, it's a conference is a great place to just to hear different speakers and get from them how they used some things, yeah, how it works, and again just get more information. And sometimes, yeah, during the conference you can get a lot of interesting information or often.
Yeah, I think just don't get me wrong, it's not that we should now drop AI and say it's for nothing and we should take a trash can and throw everything away. But during conferences, as you said, you'll also be able to hear examples of real life implementations or real life examples, and you'll see that even though there are new ways of working, there are new tools, solutions, it still comes back to how you are able to operate with them and how you can use them to your own benefit and the benefit of organization or project or other people around you. So basically, when you hear that and you hear people that are experienced and know that from their own experience, their own implementations, then you suddenly see a different angles and different ways of working with the subject. So I think that conferences are a great place to get this first, let's say, this information or experience from people that really been there, saw that, and know the dark and bright sides of different
anything.
solutions or AI or any other tools that we could use. So.
Yeah, and often when we start playing with new tools, we just forget about real value because it's great. Yeah, let's put AI everywhere. Just use AI in everything, and very often we forget about this real value of communication, of communicating information. Yeah, of trying to understand real needs, and all these things. Yeah, should be reminded. And maybe rediscovered during
Yeah, I think
such
also
events.
we are, surrounded by standards, techniques, approaches, and everything, and combined with solutions, and I think, and I do believe that all of these, let's say, items or however we call that, should serve a purpose. So this is all for people, not people for solutions, for standards, for tools. If we just forget about it and start being, overwhelmed by technical superiority or just think only about that, we lose that human factor which drives experience, which drives the needs, which drives our life. Basically, there is no motivation without a purpose. So I think in this context, everything is useful, even if it's the simplest technique, but it does the job. It doesn't necessarily need to be very advanced. So.
Totally agree with you. And let's talk a little bit about benefits of attending offline conference, as in your case, or online conference, in as is European BA Day. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
this I can't quite two different beasts, right? So both beneficial and useful, but from different angles. So I would say whatever that conference is, whether it's online or offline or on-site, it's important not to just be there. If you manage to find time to participate in one, try to make new connections, try to discuss with people, try to ask questions if you are curious about the topics that were presented. Because trust me or not, those people who present, those speakers or workshop facilitators, they are really there because they like to share their knowledge. They are they are not there for, for glory or for being on the postament. They are also there to interact with people and to share wealth of their experience, and also get to know other experiences which enrich their toolbox as well, and they will also use experience of other people. And it doesn't matter really what your experience is, whether you've been 10 years in business analysis or just 2 years. You just might have a very curious case, an example that you would like to share. And that's how you get the most of it, by being active during those conferences. And speaking of which, during on-site conferences, of course, I wouldn't be myself if I said networking is the king of on-site conferences. So whether there is coffee break or there is just 15 minutes to talk with the speaker, It's always the part I like the most. And you can meet people that you only know online or you talked with online, but in-person experience is always something else. On the other hand, we all have our let's say duties. We all have our private lives as well, family lives, and sometimes it might be difficult to participate on site, but you still have those online conferences which also don't have limitations when it comes to inviting guests, because wherever you are, you can speak and you can connect. So you don't need to step out of your doorstep. You don't need to go outside. You don't need to take 2 days off to listen to some things on the online conference. So that's the way to enjoy all this value without much effort. And I think it's great.
Yeah, and it's was one of ideas why we decided to do this online. And during online conference, you have this opportunity, first of all, to get all the recordings of all speeches and just watch them and listen to them later. And maybe you want to listen twice to the same speech or or get more information from some presentations from this. And it's advantage of online conference. Again, you can get more speakers from different countries here in one conference, and get more information from them about topic you want to cover during the conference. On the other hand, offline, being able to visit Warsaw, it's a great opportunity, to meet people, and also for me, it's like holiday. Just visiting conference, you getting some knowledge, you getting to know people, and you have some time to switch from your everyday tasks and just talk to other people, to people who can understand you, all your pains, all your thoughts, all your techniques, because we all working with stakeholders, we all fighting with deadlines, and trying to put this information in, to communicate it, and it's sometimes complicated. So
Yeah, and I think it also, for me, it gives me the power to go on. Basically, it's so much fun to meet people and to gain some energy and momentum. And I can only say that for me, it's like I'm not on vacation. I'm there to learn or to present. But on the other hand, I meet people and it provides me with, really with momentum, and I gain really a lot. And I just took a look at the comments on the chat. So I just wanted to thank Rob for the comment that, yeah, I agreed with Rob saying that we need to be fabulous about the fundamentals and master the mundane and commit to muscle memory, and let's be brilliant about the basics. I can only agree. And thanks, Dagmar, for saying that. Yeah, I always bring Swedes to conferences outside Poland. So yeah, you can count on that always. So yeah, but coming back to our discussion, yes. So basically, conferences are great, and I will always reiterate that message. So if anybody hesitates, I've never been to a conference, maybe I do not have enough skills and knowledge to understand what the speakers will be talking about. Do not think like that. You will find value in everything, and you'll get connections that might also speed up your career, because you'll talk about something, you'll find a person that has the same approach or understands your or has a use for your skills, and then you might get connected and might continue this relationship outside. You can build communities based on that. And I always will endorse BA communities. Actually, will be speaking about it as well. And I always say that networking starts on such events, but it continues, it broadens, you connect one another and another time, and you have a wonderful opportunity to make real friends. That's what I believe. Yeah.
can support you with this, with Dagmar example, because we met a few years ago during this European BA Day, and we become as for me it's online friend, because I never had a chance to meet Dagmar in person, but my wife, again, she met in Poland, with her, and it was really great experience, and we keep communicating. And I should say that keeping this communication during the years, it helps to both, to everyone, because you grow in your skill, you grow in your experience, and you can share, first of all, and second, you can ask other people, people to ask something, because you know that it's, yeah, somebody knows this thing, somebody knows these things, and it's much easier for you to find somebody to get to get advice or get some information, yeah, about some topic you never worked with.
Yes, and exactly when I started attending conferences, which was not that far, which was not that long ago, because it was like 3 or 4 years ago, basically, I didn't expect that the speakers and workshop facilitators are such open people and such humble people. So they are not standing on a postulate, looking from their, superior position at the crowds. They are all open, and it's really a pleasure to connect with them and discuss. So if anybody is scared what the other person would say, whether my question is basic or simple or whatever, do not have such fear, because there are no bad questions. And sometimes you might be surprised that this is an angle that even a speaker didn't think about. So it's something new, fresh, a fresh approach. And whether, as said, whether you are new to conferences or you're very experienced BA, it doesn't matter really.
Yeah. What do you think about advice don't eat alone during the conferences?
So I would say 9 times out of 10 during conferences, I would consume my lunch or I would eat something during the coffee break with other people, even the people that I don't know. Try to get to know, to have new connections and networking. But sometimes, especially when I'm a speaker, I like to find a quiet spot, at least for 15 minutes, to just like and then realign with my colleagues. But this is my thing. You don't need to do that. But I think in general, it would be a real shame to just stand in the corner and do not get to know people or talk with them, because that's where the magic happens, basically. And then you talk with somebody during a break, and then there is a workshop, and you say, "Oh, I'm going there," and two other persons are saying, "We are going there too." And then you end up at the same table during workshops, and then you end up discussing the workshop after the workshop, and then you end up exchanging messages after the conference. Yeah, so I think it's that simple. It's really that simple to get new, as we say, BA friends forever, so BAFs.
Yeah, and I had another advice how to, for example, if you are in the company you don't know anyone or just hard to find somebody, you can just start moving in diagonal to another corner, just slowly, and sometimes you can bump into people that you familiar with, or you can just start conversation, yeah, using this simple technique.
And I think being at the conference and noticing that it's really that easy, later on can be easily, as you said, transformed to your company, organization, or whatever other place you are in, because it encourages you to reach out, because you notice that it's not really that difficult, and you shouldn't be ashamed to just talk with people. And I also think it's particularly important. Again, it sounds that I'm a little bit nostalgic, but that's not it. But let's have an example. I travel by subway every day. Out of 20 people that I see in the same cart, only myself and maybe one another person doesn't wear headphones, right? So today it's very difficult to connect with people just by accident and just have a talk with a stranger. So in such opportunities when that's obvious that people are here to meet and talk, it's great to use that opportunity. And also, as some scientific studies show, that connection, life connection, brings a lot of more joy than not having this connection, more endorphins and so on. So I think yeah, we should use that opportunity because we don't have them that often in today's fast world when we are all rushing to our things on every even while traveling by a subway or a bus. Yes, so
Yeah, and also as a business analyst, we should be able to connect and communicate with different people because it's part of our job. And just practicing these skills during the conference, it's a great place just to to improve and to practice. Just trying to speak with people you haven't met before, and you will have you will have a lot of fun during this during these meetings. I totally agree. Yeah, and if you're talking about online conferences, I would suggest to focus more on getting much more knowledge because we are trying to do some networking of online as well. But as a person who likes online meetings a lot, I should admit that it's less fun than having some conversation in real life. So I would suggest just to create a list of speakers or sessions you want to listen, and then just select who do you want to listen. Yeah, online, just attend the session, and all other you can get recording, you can get it and walk through it. And the other thing I would recommend to all the visitors of all the conferences, don't be shy to contact speakers, even if it's online conference. Often you can find the speaker LinkedIn page, and it's really easy. Just send connection request and then just start uh, discussing some topics from the session or something you can both be interested in. And maybe next year or next month you can meet together in offline during offline conference and go on with this conversation.
yeah, and I must admit I never got rejected by a speaker that I invited to join my contacts list. So do not hesitate to do so. And I also agree that gathering knowledge during online conferences is really a good way to do so. Because you sit down at your own familiar desk, you have a coffee with you, some snack, whatever you like, and you just enjoy and listen and make notes if you like, or graphic, some people do it, graphic representations of what you hear to remember. And it's sometimes it's more easy to remember something during the online conference because you are all in it. You don't have any distractions. uh, I have this, I always have distractions, like I look around, oh, I know this person, I need to talk with that person after the lecture, and then I lost something which was important. But yeah, that's how it is. These are, as we said, shades and good things about different types of conferences, and that's normal. Yeah.
Yeah. What about what do you think about your typical attendee profile?
Yeah, I think that this question is, by its nature, something that I would respond to it. There is no profile, basically. So, we could say that it's a curious person, that it's a person with such and such experience, looking for such and such knowledge, and so on and so on. But in reality, the profile is whatever you like it to be. So if you are going there for networking, come on, let's do networking. Even if you think that you can skip some lectures to do networking, do it. If you connected with a curious person and you think you need to stay on a break a little bit longer to discuss something important, do it. If you came there for just lectures and workshops, listen to lectures and participate in workshops. So I know some people that they attend conferences only for main stage, for example, because they are so, embedded in workshops and at their stress during work and so on, that they just want to listen and let it be, and do not participate in any active things. But that's fine as well. So there is no profile, and whether you are a junior or an experienced BA or a senior or an expert, you will find things that are for you there. If you are junior and you might be afraid that, okay, this is too advanced for me. It's not the case, because we all try to speak in ways that it's understandable. And if it's not, you can always come by after the lecture and ask questions if you didn't understand something, or connect after the conference. And also this might be a beginning of your journey, because you'll notice or you listen to something that is particularly curious. You might not grasp everything that you hear, but you think, that's something I should investigate. That's something that is curious to me. So I'll start on this path. And, as said, many things happen, many new techniques, many new experiments. And some people fall in the trap that they want to get it all at the same time. And it's like this knowledge is not like Pokemons. You can't get them all just by, throwing a ball or something. You need to focus on something and try to evolve in that direction. When you think, all right, this is the level I want it to be, move to another subject. There is really a limit for everyone. To grasp everything at the same moment would be impossible. So, but conference also gives you that opportunity to notice that and to see, okay, I went to this lecture, it's very interesting, but the other one that I attended, oh, that's a game changer for me. I need to do more in that direction. So, and sometimes you're just looking for new ways of, you had experience in some cases, in some implementations, but you want to listen to another voice, to another experience. But maybe you have a bias about technology of some kind or technique of some kind. And conference is also a good way to remove that bias and to hear another example where it actually worked.
Yeah, and yeah, for me, it's every time I just come back from some conference, I have a lot of ideas that, okay, from tomorrow I will start doing this, this, this. It's a great technique, it's a great idea, it's a great diagram. I should use everything. Yeah, but later you understand you should remember about value, you should remember about context, because different tools works in different context. Yeah, something better in this way, in this domain or this task. Yeah, something better in another one. And the conference can be a really great place just to listen about things that you think that you use it every day, but in new context. Yeah, sometimes from another point of view, and it gives you some new ideas how to do your everyday job as well.
And I'll give you an example about that. During BA and Beyond conference in Belgium, there was a workshop from Ivar Jacobson, so a legend in our, let's say, in IT in general. So I've been using use cases for a long time, since the very beginning of my journey, I would say. But listening to a person that actually was one of the creators of UML and use cases themselves, so and looking that even today, after so many years, he is looking to find new ways of using use cases, and let's say talking with creators and users of the user stories and other techniques or other tools or notations in IT, and trying to find a new way for all those to work together. And I noticed that I always used use cases in a very rigid way, like this is for this purpose and no other. And then I realized that there is world of possibilities there. It's not just, use case for a purpose of describing interaction between human and a system. It's something so much more. So there are such examples, and you can notice that this is also evolving. And I always also will be saying that any technique, any diagram and method is as valuable as you can explain it to people that are the recipients of it. If you draw a very fine diagram in BPMN with all those different gateways, but you show it to your stakeholders and they do like, then it means that it doesn't have value at all, because they don't understand it. You can't translate it to their language. So basically, as you said, you can notice different angles. You can use different methods of utilization of techniques. You can notice real life cases, and this will enrich your experience. And then you will say, maybe this will work in our organization, or this wouldn't work in our organization, but some elements would. So yes, I totally agree with that statement. Yeah, that's a very good point.
Yeah, And also, very often you can find some interesting information not during session, but during Q&As. For example, I was attending this Uyghurs webinar, and after at the Q&A, somebody asked him, okay, what the best tool you use, during your or something like this, and he said, okay, I use activity diagrams, and then somebody asked, but how do you use it? He said, okay, you just build activity diagram, and then you just print it, take a marker, and move through your basic flow just to understand if it works. And if you can go from the beginning to the end, so it's okay, you did it right. And it's simple, it's understandable, we're doing it every day. But I never thought of doing something like this, just to testing it from this way. And there is a lot of such examples we can get from the sessions, from the workshops, from the even conversations with people after the workshop or after the conference in the breaks.
Yeah, and sometimes the most simplest way actually turns out to be the right one, not the one that is complicated, shiny, and new, but something pretty simple. I remember struggling with with the reasoning behind some kind of need for training, and then I realized, all right, maybe let's use action mapping. So let's think about really what drives this training need, because I can't see it. So I tried to investigate actually with people that were selected for this training, whether this is the training they need. And surprise, surprise, it wasn't the training they needed. So because, sometimes we think something is obvious and clear, but from our own perspective, if you go to people and ask, it might turn out to be that this perspective is wrong. And also this you can discover during conferences. You have a perspective, you've been there, you think you've been there 1,000 times, but there comes 1,001, which is different, and you need to apply a different concept. So yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about workshops. And what do you think in lectures? Let's start with sessions. What do you think the session time is the best? Should it be very short, or should it be 1 hour, or 30 minutes?
So in all honesty, I saw great sessions that lasted for an hour or more, and I saw great sessions that had 30 minutes. So I don't think there is a definite time that should be used for such occasions. Basically, it depends from the message and what you want to what message you want to send. So if it's something very blunt, dynamic, and you want to be, you want to have people paying attention for over 30 minutes, that's the greatest way would be to present in 30 minutes. But if you have something more detailed which is a real life business case, and you want to drill down into more details and show examples and compare some things to other things, 1 hour will be sufficient. Half of an hour would be not enough. Again, if it's a dynamic message, I remember one of the greatest presentations that had half of an hour during BA and Beyond was from Sergi Pochan, who had different product owners as, Vlad the Impaler or something, which was very good narrative. You kept on your edge, he kept you on the edge of your seat for the entire 30 minutes. And it was the nature of this that 30 minutes was enough. But on the other hand, as said, if you have an example of implementation, you show what worked, what didn't work, and you also want to have interaction with the crowd and ask some questions to enrich the lecture itself with different points of views, now you need 1 hour at least to do so. So I think, answering in a long way, there is no bad or wrong or right length of a lecture.
Yeah, agree. On the other hand, when you set some time frame, so you show your visitors and your speakers the approach you want to go during this conference. Because, for example, if it's 30 minutes, yeah, it's short presentations. Yeah, but you want to give people concise ideas, different concise ideas that they can digest later, read more about these, contact speakers, and get more information. Yeah, when you give 1 hour lectures, yeah, it can be broader, it can be more information, you can learn more. Yeah, and it's slightly different way of providing the information to the audience. And I
Yeah,
totally agree with you. Yeah,
both things can, both approaches can inspire. Trust me, that
yeah,
I've been
yeah,
there, I
yeah,
saw
yeah.
that, and in all different ways. So you'll see there are speakers that have more engagement with the crowd. There are more that are focused on being really precise on what they say and giving you a real good examples. And there are others that just want to share the experience and inspire you to look further, basically, or to get in touch, or to create a community, or whatever. The opportunities with this are limitless, I would say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And okay, what lectures do you prefer? When there is
Ah,
some real life examples, practical, or is more theory and that makes you think about something?
I would say that I'm rather the beast of experience of experience. I like to hear different experience from people. I like real life stories. I like business cases. I like things that I can relate to rather than theory. Theory is great, uh, but it's all great to, for example, to start with. If you are new to the topic and you want to understand it really better, the theory is something for you. But you're looking for new, fresh examples, a new, fresh point of view, new perspective, if you will, then for me, it's better to hear real life examples. And in all honesty, I learn more there because I can relate it to my own example, life stories, and think, actually, maybe if I have done it this way back then, it could have worked.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Getting new experiences here from people who did it in real life, it shows you how, yeah, that it can really work. Yeah, yeah. It's not a bad idea. You're just doing it wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be myself if I didn't share the message about embracing lessons learned, and uh, and I want to use this opportunity to say, do not be so harsh on yourselves. I always say that because perfection can bring you to seeking for perfection is very let's say life consuming. If you sit down and start dwelling over, oh, what I have done or how I've done wrong, uh, then it consumes your energy in a very bad way. Instead, look for examples when it did work, do it better next time, try to improve. If it doesn't work next time, it's fine. But also during conferences, you will have examples when something that you tried and maybe didn't work for you, work for somebody else, and you can reach out to this experience. You can take it you can embrace it, and next time use it to your benefit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. What do you think about format of fuck up night? When you tell stories not about successful stories, but yeah, some fuck ups and things that didn't go well.
I think, I would enjoy that. I didn't have an opportunity to do it, but it sounds great to me because it also, I think a lot of especially experienced BAs have this notion, what if I fail? What will happen? Whether the whole project and organization will fall down or the sky will fall on our heads? Normally, usually it won't. There is always a way. There's always a way to fix things or to improve. And whilst hearing that other people also have obstacles, had problems, had done something which they are not maybe proud of today, but it made them learn something, is actually releasing you from the prison that you've built on your own. The prison of your own failed expectations. And this is really difficult to leave that prison behind. And such fuck-ups nights, I would endorse that. I would say, let's do it often. Let's hear that we are not perfect. Nobody is. That's
Yeah,
true.
just stopping. Yes, just if you stop being afraid of doing something wrong, we are just making ourselves better and helping ourselves to grow. Yeah, and yeah.
Let's think about the inventor of the wheel. If that person would say, no, I won't do it. I'm seeking perfection. It's not entirely circle. Come on, it won't work. I don't want to do that. Maybe we'll still, walk on foot or ride on horses. Who knows? Yeah. So I think the nature of business analysis is also, I always emphasize that you need to have courage to express yourself. You need to have courage sometimes to be vulnerable and say, I don't know. I might done wrong, but being courageous is always beneficial, I believe. So
Yeah, I will support you here, and I think that being able to provide good options for some opportunity or problem, so you should always understand that it can fail. Yeah, but not being afraid of this fail, just understanding. Yeah, there is a risk. Okay, it's you just move to risk management. Okay, probabilities. This number impacted this number. Let's move on and see how it works.
please remember that even the creators of a specific method had to use it for the first time somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's people often ask me, you do so many lectures and webinars and so on, are you stressed? Aren't you stressed? And I say, I'm always stressed. It's normal way. You can't be, you are not a robot. You are not an artificial intelligence. You need to be stressed to understand what drives you and to be self-aware as well. For some people, rituals work. For me, rituals work. I do always the same before webinars and lectures. So I go, dress up, I comb my hair, I sit down for 5 minutes, have a sip of coffee, like, and then it works. The same is with the methods. Even such easy and understandable methods for stakeholders like 100 points had to be tested somewhere. And I bet the creator of that method was scared to death. What if they think it's strange? What if they think it doesn't give benefit? What if they don't use it at all? And then look, for me, it's still the technique which is simple and provides a lot of value when you have stakeholders from different areas and you can't decide on priorities, for example. So then you get, this one is important for everyone, actually. And you might even be surprised by that.
Yeah. So this way workshops, because during workshop you can not only listen about something, you can try something. So it's much better education, and then studying something.
And it's also very creative. I must say, I saw many workshops and many different ways you couldn't imagine. For example, on one they were having like radio-steered bulldozers to move things around the tables. On another one, you had, user story mapping live. On my workshops, I did Walt Disney method, for example. So there is variety of things you can try during workshops you can participate in. For example, also on the BA Summit, Poland BA Summit, we'll have a murder mystery, which I was able to participate before. And it's really fun and engaging. So there are so many ways to do a successful workshop and to embrace that experience during a conference. I said some people do not participate in workshops because they think they are too tired and so on. I would still encourage to try, because that's where you have the most interactive way of learning. So you can try it, you can do something, you can fail even, but then learn from this experience, and you have very experienced facilitators, people that are also warm-hearted and supportive to help you understand where you made that mistake and learn from it. So it's a very safe environment.
Yeah. And also during online workshops, there is a great opportunity to use different tools that we use in real life. Because there is you don't have real life conversation with people, interaction, but on the other hand, you can use tools that you will use maybe later, or host wants to help you to try or to learn, to study.
I would say, there are opportunities to work with other people because you have boards of different kinds. You
Yeah,
have breakout rooms as well for that kind of workshops, and it brings a unique flavor as well. And a lot of times we have a dispersed hybrid teams that we need to work with, and participating in online workshops on conferences during conferences will give you some ideas on how to do engaging workshops online. If you
yeah,
don't have an idea how to do them yourselves, you might get inspired by others who do it well during conferences, or can also support you in a way. You see a workshop and maybe in my organization it wouldn't be perfect, but you reach out to that workshop facilitator and you ask, look, I would like to do something similar, maybe this and that. Do you think it's a good idea? And you might get
yeah.
some, and you probably get a lot of great directions on how to shape your own online workshops. So once again, embrace the opportunity. Do not be afraid to reach out to speakers and facilitators.
And other participants of the workshop. And
Yeah.
that's why we decided this year to do workshops as well. Yeah, it's online conference, online workshops, and this way, yeah, we want to provide more opportunities to get to learn something, to study something. Okay, so let's ramp up, and then maybe we'll have some time for some questions and answers. So, Pavel, yeah, tell us a few things more about the conference.
Yeah, so I think I said already a lot, but I do really believe that there are a lot of conferences globally and in Europe, but we as an IIBA Poland Summit do not have anything to be ashamed of. We had an edition last year; it was a huge success. This year we want to continue with that, and we listened to the feedback from the participants, so we have a very engaging first day, which is more senior day, but as said, any level of BAs are invited, but there we'll have a very unique experience. We will have a dinner with murder mystery during a dinner event in the evening with a glass of wine. So it's also the facilitators, Imtiaz and Luis, are saying that this will be something great, and I trust them, knowing the guys I know it will be. And you can see we have an all-stars there. We have Fabricio, we have Adrian, we have Angela. So the people that are voices of our community, or that have a lot of experience. And also we have mentoring dates, which is the concept we introduced last year. So myself, for example, I will be there for 1 hour, having and I will talk with two BAs, try to help them to get direction or maybe support them in some cases. And I know, and I saw the list, Fabrizio will be doing that as well. Imtiaz will be doing this as well. Angela will be mentoring during those sessions. So I think it's a unique experience to sign up for such. And also we'll have roundtables on Friday, and I'll be running one on the BA communities. So I think there is a lot of to choose from, variety of things. And I said tickets are still available. So do not hesitate to buy on. There is a lot of value in this conference. I truly believe it. I am not lying. I can assure you that this will be great.
Yeah, I would really, yeah, I would visit the conference for sure. Unfortunately, because of this Russians and war, I can't do it now. But next year or after the victory, I will get there for sure. Yeah, and I would suggest and recommend everyone, if you can go, just visit Poland, visit Warsaw, and join the conference. And from our side, yeah, we will have our conference next year. and we'll try to bring a lot of interesting speakers and practitioners to our sessions and workshops, so to provide the most useful information and we can during this online event, and we'll be happy to see you there as well. And but yeah, let's start with IIBA Poland Summit. Yeah.
Yeah. One
Okay.
little by little, one
Yeah.
by one. Yes.
Yeah, one by one. Yeah, let's start. Yeah, conversations during the Poland Summit, and then just go on working. Yeah, during the European BA Day.
Exactly.
Okay, so we have a few minutes left of our podcast, so maybe somebody wants to join conversation or ask something. Yeah, Christiane. Yeah, hi there. Happy to see
Hey,
you.
I thought Pavel makes a lot of sense. Yes, sometimes people want to do something complicated, very theoretical, and they forget that the simple method can work too.
Yeah.
Thank you for supporting that. And hi again, Christian. I remember that we met during BA and Beyond. So nice to see you.
Yes, we were at the same table. I think it was the presentation by Ivar Jakobson and his colleague.
I think so. And then Murder Mystery as well, I believe.
Yes, and that was great. I've been thinking about it since then. How can I make a workshop like that?
It's, yeah, I think it's a source of inspiration for us all. I can only say that. Yes.
Yes. Well, I'm in Brussels, and I think Dagmar is in Vienna in Austria.
I'm in Vienna on my way to Italy, as always, somewhere.
Dagmar is always moving, but she often
Yeah.
manages to join the Belgian cafe on Friday at noon. We have
Yeah.
the online meeting, and then people join from a driving car, from a driving train, or from wherever. With a smartphone, anything's possible.
Yeah, I really
great
want to
community.
join someday. Yeah, I really want to join someday, but it's always working days, yeah, and then it's very complicated, yeah, to do this, but I will try this Friday, Christiane. Yeah, I am on holiday, so I will try to do this Friday.
Great.
Nice. And I see Rob asking about what topics I'll be speaking next. So during the conference, I'll be speaking about building BA communities and comparing it with creating centers of excellence as well. It will be a lecture, this time not a workshop, but with elements of workshop. I have only 1 hour. That's how we could squeeze that in, but I hope to have it interactive also. And I'm thinking about other topics on other conferences, but that's still in plans. I have a topic, for example, about stakeholder wars. I call it like that. When we have two different stakeholders from two different groups of stakeholders that have different motivators of drivers. One side is about compliance and medical safety, and another one is from the point of basically the revenue. So this is a real life example of how you can deal with such stakeholders in one backlog, basically, and still managing that. Yeah. Thanks, Rob. Yes, I think it's relevant. Yeah, it's relevant to what I saw when I joined the project. Later on, it was stakeholder friendship. I hope it stayed that way when I left, but I can't know for certain. Yeah.
Well, then you did a good job here, just moving from war to peace. So
Exactly.
It's a best case scenario for any business analyst on the project. Okay, maybe anything else, or should we round up today and wrap up today? So, Pavel, thank you very much. It was really interesting conversation. Yeah, happy to see you. Happy to see you all. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for joining tonight. And see you next time on the next podcast event. And hope we'll be able to see Pavel in person during IIBA Poland Summit.
Yes, and it was a great pleasure to be here and share my thoughts and talk with you, Alexander, and meet all the guests that we had today. And I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, see you on the analytical trail, as I used to say.
Okay, see you. Bye.
Take care. Bye.